Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another set of NIKKE reactions. I think this might be the first time I've gotten to 2-in-1. I can't remember the last time, if ever, I've done 2-in-1 for NIKKE, so this might be the first time, but Kirby Start wanted me to get to both of these, and he was right. They're pretty short, so I'm gonna do both of these back to back, doing Promise first, talking about it, and then doing Broken Wings, and talking about that, my usual formula for these if you're familiar with it. So I guess without further ado, let's go! Ooh, it's really dreamscapey, like right off the bat. It's kind of giving Kingdom Hearts with the stained glass and everything too. Ooh. That resonance is really cool. It's got this like haunting quality to it as well. Not your standard lullaby fare. Atmosphere added in. Ooh. They're doing more with the atmosphere than I thought they would be. It's catching me off guard. This is wild. It's actually reminding me a lot of a music box thing I did years ago. This is definitely better put together, but it's kind of reminiscent in feel. And I really do love that resonant echo, all that reverb on there. It just sounded kind of like Icicle, which might be why it's reminding me of the one I did, and I'll probably explain why. Hell, I might even show you what it was, because I don't think I've shown that on this channel yet. So for a little backstory on my thing, I made a music box melody inspired by a fan project from the My Little Pony community forever ago. I think I made it back in like 2014, I think. I can't even remember at this point, but it was a while ago, and it was inspired by an ice-themed character, and that could be why it's kind of giving me that vibe. It might even use a similar sort of effect I had, which was basically like an icicle bell that sounded like a music box, which is why I used it as one, but also it wasn't that. So this kind of has a similar vibe. It has a similar melancholy as well. It sounds like the theme of somebody who's broken or going through a lot, which is exactly what I intended mine to sound like. And honestly, I've been talking about it so much at this point that I probably should just show you what it was and let you hear it so you can see that. So a little bit of a first time ever on the channel thing for me, like showing you all this song, but here it is. Hi, so while I was editing this, I went back to go to the upload that I knew about, an archivist upload from like 9 years ago, right? To find out that somebody had stolen my song. Someone like 9 months ago has re-uploaded my track on Spotify, YouTube, and probably other platforms, saying that it's theirs. So now I'm going through the legal process to get this shit claimed, because it's still my work and I can still factually prove so through a multitude of paper trail stuff left throughout the years. So I'm working through that. Unfortunately, in that, I'm not going to play the song here. I would love to, but also if I do and anyone were to go and see that upload, it would probably give this dickhead money. So I'm going to not worry about that. I'm just going to be trying to get through this copyright situation. This is wild because it's the first time I've ever had something like this stolen from me, and I am pissed. So I'm dealing with that to the fullest extent of the legal ability that I have, which is quite a bit given my paper trail, and I will be pursuing this as far as I can if they don't remove it. But like I said, until then or whatever happens, I can't actually play the song for you in risk of it being struck on my own channel here now. So I'm sorry, I would love to play it, but I'm not going to do that yet. But maybe someday when everything is all cleared, I'll mention this again and I'll let you all go down memory lane with me at that point. But for now, I can't do it. Sorry about that. Why do people have to ruin things, you know? Like, why do you have to steal music? Get creative. Do it yourself, loser. Like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, back to the video. So I'm sure you could probably all see what I'm talking about there. Not the same thing, and this one is definitely more atmospheric. It pulls a lot more into it, utilizing sound design. Mine was very literally like a 3 a.m. composition that I was just messing around with stuff, and I discovered that preset and I was like, ooh, let me try to make something with that, and I stumbled into it. It's still one of the only things I ever finished compositionally in my life, and I can't say I'm not proud of it. It's just one of those things where I don't know if I could ever do that again. I don't know if this is like a lightning in a bottle thing where I'm ever going to be able to compose again, so I've been considering trying recently, but I don't know. Point aside though, this song, the one we're talking about here, beautiful. I really love the approach to it. Again, very melancholic. It has a lot of energy to it that feels kind of like somebody's lost something. There's this essence that there is a piece missing in this song. It has this feeling where you're trying to like sweep through the emotional weight of the song and you just can't quite land on anything. It doesn't really resolve anywhere until the very end, and even then it's a fairly open resolution. It doesn't necessarily stop. It kind of leaves itself open for interpretation at the end. It doesn't just end the story. So that could be made for it to loop, but also could be a story-based thing as well. Maybe there's more to this, or maybe that piece missing is very literal in the music. Maybe there's just an emotional beat missing, and that's supposed to reflect the character. I really do love this though, and obviously as somebody who's made something kind of in a similar ballpark emotionally, I feel a lot with this song, even though I don't know what the character's backstory is. But with the images cracked on the stained glass, just the imagery on these song uploads can do a lot for me, trying to guess what the story is behind them, what the context is, and get a little bit more of that. And it feels like those pieces missing are fairly literal. Maybe this character lost a lot of people and is going through a lot psychologically. I feel like I even recognize the character on screen. Maybe I've done videos involving her before. I don't know. Usually these are fairly spread out, so it could have been months ago. My short-term memory is pretty shoddy, especially since I get to so many different series, so it's possible I've done something on this character. It just feels so familiar, so that thematic constant might be looping back in my brain as well. But it is a gorgeous song. It has just enough of everything you need. It's very minimalistic with what it uses, but between the atmospheric stuff and then of course the melody that's being played, it's just enough flavor enhancing to take it from something a little bit too simple to something just perfectly complex enough to get that emotion across. So really, really pretty there. Now the next song, Broken Wings, I'm not sure if this is going to be related at all. The pictures seem to be vastly different and it doesn't seem to be the same character, so I'm not going to assume that they're related in any way going into this, but maybe they are. Maybe I'll be surprised, but you'll probably all have to tell me if that's the case. I'm just going to do my usual thing, trying to guess the context based off of what I'm given. So without further ado, let's go. Wait a minute. That is. It's different. But it's the same. Oh, she's standing in front of glass. Oh, wait a minute. It's like fully shattered. Wait a minute, the lore is kind of coming back to me. Oh, that felt weird. I'm gonna have to see if I'm right. Because again, shoddy memory. Maybe I'm learning. My brain is forming wrinkles. Gorgeous rendition though. Love the change to guitar. Ooh, like the reversed in there too. Yeah, this is neat. I really didn't think these would be tied together, but I'm starting to remember stuff I've read. That's where they're gonna end it. Again, with that resolution, but it still hangs just enough to make you go, wait a minute, I don't think we're done. You know, oh, okay, I'll explain what I think my brain just formed for context here. I swear the context of everything just flooded back into my brain all at one moment. It felt kind of wild. It's like, I have these moments where my long-term memory is definitely much more retentive. My short-term memory is pretty shoddy since I hear a lot of these different lore drops from different games. Sometimes I do cross wires a little bit, and other times I just completely drop chunks of lore that I should have remembered. So by the time I get to something related to it, I forget. For these two, I think I just remembered that these two characters are very much related. I remember this like red-haired character, couldn't tell you her name. That's fair. I think the Red Ash event, if I'm right there, something like that. And if memory serves from the lore dumps that people have fed me through all these videos, I think that white-haired character and this red-haired character are much more like tied together than my brain was ready to accept immediately. But again, that's kind of where like the flood of information like coming back to my memory just hit me out of nowhere, because I was like, wait, oh shit, I think I do know this. So I couldn't tell you exactly how, but I'm feeling like I'm correct there. That feels vaguely correct. Like those two characters are very close, and that like maybe not directly the Red Ash event, but something with her, it could have been the same event, is like a spin-off or side story version of the other, or some relationship like that. Like they kind of hit the same story beats, but from a different person's perspective. So you're hearing the story from both sides a little bit and hearing how they deal with it in their own ways. And again, I'm not really remembering details here, but that information kind of came back to me all at once. And I'm assuming that I'm correct now, and this song and the last song definitely are the same thing. So it's got to be a motif relationship where you are trying to reference the other, and it would just totally make sense. I'm assuming Promise came before purely because the comment had said Promise and Broken Wings, but if not, just do Broken Wings. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that one comes before the other. It's just based on that comment. So maybe it's the other way around. Either way, beautiful. I love the guitar in here. I feel like it tuned the whole thing down a little bit, which is weird because the other one was very much already simple and it was already calm. This one just added a different flavor to it, and I know that that character is associated with like this harder, rockier mentality and personality, so it's like, okay, cool. You get a little bit of punk in there, but they still brought it down using the acoustic and just calming it, you know? I feel like it adds more bass to the song in general because of the resonance of the guitar, so it just feels a little bit more full. So maybe that's signifying like more details have been gathered. So another point to it maybe being a sequel to the other one. You feel like there's more involved, so you get a little bit more context for the story through the song. That could very well be the case. This is just so pretty. I love this composition in general. I think it's a beautiful piece, but also just the way that this one was handled so tactfully, with being careful about not adding too much, not getting too rowdy with it, keeping that emotional weight bared down and locked in, while also still introducing these other familiar elements to the other character, and in doing so keeping these characters feeling more related to each other and keeping the story very tight in that regard. Just really pretty. I think this also had a slightly different melody, but maybe that's just me. I feel like there was a slight difference in the overall song, but again, short-term memory kind of shoddy, so maybe it was in there. But I've also been yapping long enough enough that honestly some of the original song has already left my terrible short-term memory. So let me know if I'm correct on any of this, and of course if you have anything else you want me to get to, by all means drop it in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. And otherwise, if you just like watching these videos and you want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!